Philadelphia students are back in the classroom starting a new school year with the pandemic still with us and COVID cases rising. Chalkbeat senior reporter Dale Mezzacappa joins us to discuss some of the challenges facing the Philadelphia school district. Welcome, Dale.
Hi, Amanda. Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure so that we can hear about and update some of our viewers on what is going on in the school district. So, Philadelphia's public school district started school on Tuesday, August 31st. Are all the students required to return for in person, or is it mixed virtual versus in person learning?
Well, it's all in person. The school district did give um, it did extend, it has a virtual academy, and it did extend those grades from 6 to 12 to kindergarten through 12. And if students wanted to, they could enroll in the virtual academy, but it wasn't the same at all as what occurred last year, which was a mixture of, which was so-called hybrid learning, a mixture of online learning and in-person learning. The students who choose virtual they have to disenroll from their home school who choose the virtual academy, and they have contact with teachers and access to teachers, but they're not given live lessons. They basically are given a packet of work to do, and they do it on their own time. So basically, students, yes, are expected to be in the classroom. About less than 1,500 students out of more than 120,000 chose the virtual academy. They can also choose one of the cyber charter schools that exist in Philadelphia, and there's quite a few students in those, but not clear how many additional students because of the pandemic. But anyway, they are expected to be back in their classrooms.
Okay. Since safety for the students is top priority, what are the safety protocols the school districts have put in place for the kids?
So first of all, even before Governor Wolf issued an order that all students, people in schools had to be masked, the school district decided that all teachers and students and all staff had to wear masks in the building. So that's the first safety. They're also testing staff members weekly. They are testing students who are symptomatic. They are asking parents to sort of do a check of their students before sending them to school, making sure that they don't have any symptoms. But they are not testing, at least as of now, as out of the time that we're speaking, they're not testing all students regularly. They're only testing students who appear to show symptoms. They are trying to socially distance as much as they can, but the latest CDC recommendation is 3 feet. But that's going to be very hard in some schools, which have large classes and the classrooms aren't that big. And then there's the hallways. So a lot of the safety has been left up, in terms of how to deal with the lunch, when students aren't masked, where students and how students eat, all that sort of thing is up to local schools. The teachers union has been urging the district, as I said, of this time of this taping, they haven't agreed to test all students regularly. They have promised that they will, obviously, following city health guidelines, if there's positive cases, they will inform everyone who has come in contact. They will inform everyone in the school that there has been a positive case in the school, and then they will follow health guidelines, health department guidelines as to whether there's a quote unquote outbreak. Anyone who tests positive must quarantine. There's contact tracing done where people who have been determined to have been in close contact with a positive case are informed. And then the Department of Health will decide if a classroom should close, a school should close. So that's basically the safety precautions that they're taking. The emphasis has been on the part of the superintendent and others that it's a health issue to have students back in school also because of the upheaval in students' lives for not being in school for so long, their social and emotional health. So that being in school, being with their friends, getting live instruction with their teachers is a matter of helping them to maintain their mental health as well as physical health, and that they're doing their best to balance those things.
Okay. Now, I know that he asked them to wear masks, but are they requiring the students to wear masks?
They are requiring the students to wear masks. They're requiring everyone in the school building to wear masks. Um, the enforcement, I guess, will be up to each school. I mean, how stringently it's going to be enforced, but the rule is that all students and teachers and staff must wear masks inside the school building.
Okay, so we're gonna hit that touchy question right now. Are they going to require them to be vaccinated?
So they cannot require students to be vaccinated, and as you know, as of now, students under 12 cannot be vaccinated. There is no approved vaccine for them. And as far as the older students, they cannot require it. They cannot technically require the teachers or the staff either, and they, as I said, of this taping, are negotiating with the unions about a vaccine mandate. The Board of Education in late August approved a vaccine mandate. And the Philadelphia Federation of Teachers, the largest union in the district, and the union that represents principals, the Commonwealth of School Administrators, Commonwealth Association of School Administrators, has also indicated their support for some kind of a mandate, but they want to make sure that there are exceptions for religious reasons or health reasons, that they want to negotiate the terms of such a mandate to make sure that each employee's rights are followed. The leader of the union that represents people who are like the food workers and a lot of cleaners, paraprofessionals, people like that, was more hostile toward a mandate, saying that a lot of her members who are part-time, who are low paid, to sort of put the burden on them of having to be vaccinated in order to keep their jobs was unfair. I don't know how that is going to shake out, but the likelihood is a mandate will be negotiated between the unions that represent the educators within, hopefully very shortly after school opens.
Okay, so I know that they're wearing the mask, but can you share with us some of the other safety protocols or things that have been set in the building to help keep the spread of the virus down?
Well, they're promising there are hand sanitizers everywhere, more cleaning than usual. As I said before, trying to maintain, where possible, the 3-foot social distancing, the regular testing of employees, the testing of symptomatic students. So those are the precautions that they are taking as much as they can to mitigate any spread. And the steps they're taking to try to maximize the people in the building who are vaccinated.
Okay. All right. You kind of touched on it a few seconds ago, but just kind of walk us through the 3 areas and how people are responding. How are the parents feeling about the going back to school? Yay or nay for masks? How are the teachers feeling about it? And then how is the district feeling about it? You can kind of just give us an overall of where the pushback is and where the people are more excited about the mask or just
Well,
going back to school?
yeah, the district has been quite forceful um, in saying that it's time that we resume in-person learning. There's been too much learning loss. There's been too much trauma. There's been too much of students not being socialized, and full-time in-person learning is the goal for the year, um, as far as the district is going. With the well, at the same time, they're trying to give assurances that they are following as much of the safety protocols that they can. And if you go to their website, they have a quite detailed listing of all the things that they're doing. The teachers, as I said, unlike in other places, there has not been a lot of public outcry, either on the part of teachers or parents in Philadelphia over masking requirements. That that just hasn't risen to the top of the agenda for anybody that has, that there have been public meetings where people berate the school board over mask requirements, which has happened in districts around Philadelphia. Um, so that really hasn't happened here. Although, as I mentioned, the teachers and the teachers union in the district are disagreeing to the extent to which students should be tested. Um, One of the things that the teachers union and individual teachers and the district are at odds about are the overall safety of the school buildings, which are issues that predate COVID. They're concerned about issues like asbestos, loose asbestos in buildings. During the time that the school district, that the schools were closed, which was for the most part an entire more than a year, since March of 2020, a lot of work was done in the school buildings to try to asbestos abatement projects. But the district hasn't really given a full accounting of all the projects that have been done. And there have been issues with, for instance, one school, SLA Bieber, which is in the Winfield section of the city in West Philly, where they had ongoing work and they were going to have students use porta potties, and it was a mess. And basically, parents rebelled against that, and they are now relocating the younger students in that school, which goes, I think, from fifth grade to 12th, to another school building. And they, have made adjustments because some of the school buildings, for all the work that they've been doing, continue to have active remodeling essentially being done while students are in the building. And there's been a lot of union members, teachers have, and parents and advocates have complained that the district is not being forthcoming with all the data that they want to assure, so that they can feel very certain that their building is safe. One of the places where this has been most controversial is at Masterman School, which is a middle school. It's a selective middle school where the teachers spent a few days working out before the students arrived outside the building, saying they didn't feel safe going inside, and they wanted more inspections on the part of the union's environmental consultant, so that they would feel that potential hazards in the building have been remediated. So there's a lot of tension around the condition of these old buildings, and whether the district has been doing the work that needs to be done to make them safe, or whether they've been doing it competently, or whether they've been sharing enough information with the school communities about what they are doing, so that they can feel that the buildings are safe. And that's all aside from the issues relating to COVID and the degree to which COVID precautions are sufficient.
Well, Dale, time flies when we're having good questions and good information. So, if someone is having an issue, real quick, can you just kind of give them some sites to go through to get some questions answered?
Well, I mean, as I said, if you go to philasd.org, and usually right at the very top of their homepage, they will tell you, go here for, COVID protocols. And they have many portals that you can click on that will lead you to, frequently asked questions, that answer the very questions that we've been discussing now. So, I would just recommend that they go to philasd.org and look at the top. There's, let me just see if I can actually do it for you here and show you like what's right on their homepage.
No, the website is fine because I'm pretty sure people are on that all the time. So that is perfect.
Right. Yeah. Well, they do have a whole set of pages that go over the that have a lot of information about who you can ask, where you should call, and what the process and procedures are, and what should be happening in your child's school.
Awesome. Well, Dale, I thank you for your wealth of information that you have provided the viewers. So thank you so much for joining us.